Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well today. And in this video, I'm going to be doing some spring cleaning in our home. And I have a list of how I'm going to clean and what areas I'm going to be cleaning first to last. And so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to be cleaning are the windows, and I'm going to be focusing on one room at a time when I go and clean. And so I have some Windex, I was trying to take off this sticker, and a microfiber cloth, and I'm going to go ahead and clean the inside and the outside of the windows. So when it came to cleaning the windows, I actually didn't clean the outside part of the top window. And so I realized that the way that you do it is you have to bring it down, the top part of the window, slide it down, and then you can clean it from either down below or above. And when I go back and clean these windows again, I'll make sure to do that on the outside. And then when I go and clean the other windows in the house, I'll make sure that I do that as well. But I wanted to mention it here because I didn't originally know how to do it, and that was part of the reason why I didn't do it. But I saw someone else do it online, and I was like, oh, okay. So there is some other spring cleaning tasks that I am doing that I don't show all of it in this video. One, it's a lot because in this video, I think it took me about like 4 days to record different sections of the house that I was cleaning, and so the spring cleaning is definitely a like a weekly, or I'm sorry, it's like a week-long process, and it, can take some time, but that's okay because I like knowing that the house is clean. And so one of the things that I don't do in this video, but I am planning on doing it fairly soon, is I want to take all of the curtains in the house and just give them a good wash in the washing machine. And I'm thinking about maybe doing it in the morning so that when, because I'll hang dry them because we don't have a dryer. And so I was thinking I can hang them back up on the rod in their places, and then I can have them dry out like that, so that by the time that it becomes dark out, they'll already be hanging if I clean them in the morning. And yeah, there's some other things as well that I don't show that I will discuss throughout this video. And also, if there's anything that you guys do that I don't mention in this video, that'd be cool to talk about it down below in the comments, because I always feel like I'm learning new things when it comes to spring cleaning each year. Just tips on like where to clean and how to clean it, the right tools and stuff, because I realized that too, if you don't have the right tools, a lot of the cleaning can become difficult. And so I highly recommend to look into what it is specifically that you're cleaning if it's difficult, and just see what other people do.
Okay, there is some crud right here that I want to clean out, and so what I'm going to be doing is using a brush like this, and then I'm going to have a rag sit on top of it like this, and then I'm just going to scrub it like that. I don't want the actual bristles to be on the ledge right there. And then I'm also just going to use this water soap mixture and just spray it on here and give it a really good scrub.
Okay, so next I'm cleaning the vents in the house, and I wanted to focus on this big guy that's in the kitchen. And what I like to do first, before I get any surface wet and start wiping it down, is I get the dust off. And so I always like to have one microfiber cloth that is meant for picking up dust, and I usually keep it dry. I don't use a wet rag or paper towel to get dust up. That's something that I used to do all the time, but recently I started realizing that if you use a dry microfiber cloth to get the dust up, it just does it a lot better, in my opinion. I just prefer it that way, and I enjoy having specific rags as well, because before I was just kind of using whatever to clean with, and having a rag that's only meant for dry, kind of picking up dust or crumbs or whatever it is I'm using it for, it's just very useful.
So I had wiped down the dust as best as I could in here, and now I'm going to go ahead and take this spray. It is white vinegar, water, and soap. It is half vinegar, half soap, and then just like a teaspoon of, or sorry, water, half vinegar, and a teaspoon of soap. I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that with a rag and just sort of get as much of this black coloring off of here as much as I can. I cannot talk today. And I will show a before and after. And then I'm also going to clean this out a bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of that dust and grime off.
Yeah, so when I was cleaning this vent, I started realizing that the rag wasn't working, and then when I tried to do the method with the brush and the rag over top, that really wasn't working either. And so I realized that I need to get some pure soap with the brush without any rag and start scrubbing it like that, because the dust that was on this vent cover was really sticky, and usually when you're cleaning stuff in the kitchen, that's just how it is. A lot of things are sticky, which I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of that, but it can be a little annoying to clean. But I realized soap is the best thing that you can use, because I mean, it's meant to clean up grease, and it's just perfect to use when a lot of other maybe fancier kind of more chemical like products aren't always working. And that's something that I've really been appreciating a lot recently as well, is using natural products to clean with, because I recently started using the vinegar and water mixture spray, and I've just been falling in love with it. I started realizing how well of a cleaner it is, and it made me not want to purchase any more well-known products that have a lot of other chemicals in it. And the thing is that the chemicals may not always be, you know, the worst thing ever kind of product, especially if you're in a home where maybe it's a rental, and kind of like what we're in, and you want to make sure that the house stays clean, and so sometimes you might have to use a harsher chemical.
We need some power tools.
And now I'm going to be cleaning the stove top. I had already cleaned the inside of the stove a couple weeks ago. It needed it pretty badly. I should have recorded it. I could have, but I didn't think about it, and I really just wanted to get it done, and so I just did that. And so now I'm going to be focused on cleaning these vent covers. And I kind of just want to mention now ahead of time that I thought the method that I was doing was going to really get all of it off and clean it to the point where it was spotless, but it didn't. Although I will say it cleaned a lot of it off to the point where I was pretty satisfied with it anyway. But what I wind up doing is allowing a product to sit on the covers, and I allow them to sit there for an hour. And usually when you're kind of doing it the way that I'm doing it, the way that I've seen other people do it online, they let it sit overnight. And because I knew that the stove needed to be used later that day, I didn't have the right idea to let it sit overnight for 24 hours or however long. But yes, I'm using the Pink Stuff paste and the Barkeeper's Friend spray, and I wind up just putting that all over the covers. I just take the paste and I just scrub it on. Nothing perfect, nothing, too crazy. You don't even have to scrub it on, just layer it on, and then I spray the cleaner right on top of it. And then I take some saran wrap, some plastic wrap, and I just cover that up. And like how I said earlier, you could let it sit longer than what I had let it sit for. I think I let it sit for maybe an hour, maybe almost 2 hours. I'm not really sure the exact time, but I know it was around an hour. And again, I think it really did work well, but to get it to even work better, letting it sit overnight can be more of a benefit. But yeah, as you can see, I did try a whole bunch of methods and different products to really clean and get it as spotless as I really wanted to be. But even though it didn't, I'm still really happy because once I switched over to using the brush, it really worked out a lot better. And so when I go and clean the electric part of the stove connection, I don't know the name of it, I just use some water vinegar mixture that I have, and I just scrub it a little bit. There was a little bit of food scraps and dirt on it, so I just use that to clean it up. So the next thing that I'm cleaning is the light fixtures, and I make sure to get all of the dust, especially out of this one because of the way how it's shaped, out of it. And then afterwards I'll just wipe it down, just like kind of what I did with the vents. And I just use the vinegar water mixture to wipe everything down with, and it looks nice, and I think it gives it a good shine. When it comes to the way that I like to spring clean, or even just clean in general, I always like to focus on things that are higher up to clean, and then I make my way down to the floor and vacuum and sweep and dust whatever it is that's on the floor. And I've just come to find out that that's just the easiest way for me to clean and to feel that I'm cleaning everything as best as I can possible, because I know nothing will ever be perfect, and you have to keep up with the cleaning in order to really make a difference, and to really make your home feel really guess, homey, if you want to word it like that, because to me, I just love the feeling of a clean home, and sometimes I slack on it, and I don't always keep up with it, and so having this time to be able to spring clean and focus on things that, you don't always touch, you don't always clean, it might be a second thought kind of thing, it just really helps clear my mind, and I just appreciate that I have the time to be able to do this. And then I'm going to be moving on the light switches, and I don't show it in the video, but you could also clean any type of sockets or anything that's just on the wall that you feel like that needs to be cleaned. And yeah, so over here there's a spider, and I killed it. I don't know why, I just think it's so funny, because I'm not really scared of spiders, and so when I see one, sometimes I have the urge to save it and take it outside and try to save it. But that spider right there was moving really quick. It was one of them tiny ones that move kind of quickly, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna kill it. But yeah, so with that, I had just cleaned it with a paper towel instead of using a rag. But now I'm wiping the walls. Well, technically I'm getting the dust off of the walls first, and I really like this new mop that I bought because I'm specifically just going to have it for the walls. And it's got two different sides, and the one side that I'm using kind of has a texture. Well, both of the sides have the texture of a microfiber cloth, because that's essentially what it is, but the one has more of a texture to it that I believe is easier to pick up the dust, and then the other side with the stripes, it has a little bit more of a rougher texture, especially where the blue is. It has a different texture than the white part on the stripes. And so I just like the idea that I'm using one side to get the dust off and then the other side to wipe the walls. And again, I'm just using the vinegar water mixture to wipe the walls because I just think that it was the best way to clean it. And I'm not really sure what other people do in terms of if they just use hot water and soap. But this was pretty helpful for me because I didn't want to get the whole mop soaking wet because I like the idea of using the other side as a duster. And so this method worked out pretty well. I was actually happy to see how well the mop was moving on the walls after I put the product on, because a couple years ago, I don't remember when the video was, but I was using a different kind of mop. The mop would sometimes get kind of hard to push around because it would just get stuck from it not, I guess, absorbing the mixture well. I don't really know. Maybe it's because I had a rag over top of it and it wasn't as tight or sewn in as kind of like this one is. Well, this one's technically Velcroed. It's got Velcro on it, so I can easily take it on and off. But anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. I really like how I cleaned the walls this year versus previous years. So this is my favorite part to do, is to change out the paintings, because I love painting seasonally, and I do need to paint more spring paintings, honestly, but I do have a couple, and so that's what I'm hanging up right now. And soon I'll just tell a little bit of a news here. I am going to be selling my art again here pretty soon. Soon could be maybe like 2 months from now or something. Soon to me is maybe a little bit longer for other people, but it's going to be happening sooner than later. So that's what I'm really excited for. And I'm going to be talking about it more in the future in other videos and stuff. And so if that interests you guys, then go ahead and look out for that. But yeah, on to what we're doing next. I am focusing on the top of the fridge, and I'm getting all the dust off and making sure that I wipe in the crevices and all of the areas where the dirt is. I'm just giving it a really good scrub. And the other place that I want to clean, that I didn't show in this as well, is above the upper cabinets, where there's a little shelf, because there's a lot of dust and grease and stuff up there. And now that we have a ladder, because before we didn't have it, I was just stepping on the counter, which I probably shouldn't have been doing. But now that we have the ladder, I'm eventually going to be doing that, so that'll be great to do. And I also cleaned the inside of the fridge, and at the very end here of this video, I'm going to be cleaning the baseboards, and I use the rag method with the brush. And I also clean on the edges of the carpet, because that's where a lot of dust is collected. And because we have a dog, it's just something that I need to do more often. But it is a lot. Carpet can sometimes be frustrating, but overall, I'm just happy that we have nice carpet, so as long as I take care of it, it should be fine. But this is about it for the spring cleaning video. I'm so glad that you guys have made it this far in the video. If you have, it really inspires me, and it brings me joy knowing that you guys like my videos and are interested in it. And so I hope that you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video, and bye-bye.